Welcome guys, in this video we will be learning about regions and availability zones in AWS. So the first question that comes up into your mind is, what is a region? So region is a physical location around the world where you can say that AWS clusters the data centers. This means that it is a location where AWS has set up their servers. Now, as I said earlier, availability zones. So what is availability zone then? So availability zone is an area inside a region where actually the data centers exist, right? So you can say that an availability zone is one or more discrete data centers with redundant power, networking and connectivity in AWS region. So it is a sub part of a region. It is not a region, but it is an area that is connected to a particular region. For example, if I choose AWS Mumbai, so in Mumbai there are 3 availability zones. So in that case, this means that there are 3 different data centers, discrete data centers set up for Mumbai region. Now, how many regions are there? So here we have a total of 25 regions available right now, but the list is increasing. They will be coming up with 2 more in coming time. But there is a point. Not all the regions are publicly available. So this means that there are few regions that we cannot access. For example, I need to be on AWS China website to access the 2 China specific regions, and I need to be a government employee. I need to be a government company who is using the services in case if we want to use the government cloud for US. So there are few things that we need to keep in mind, and other things are already available. So in case if you want to see how many regions are available to you, you can simply head up to your AWS Managed Console and you can see that there. Now the question comes up, what is the list? So these are the lists of AWS regions which you can have access to. There are a lot of regions, you can see them, and there are the availability zones. So these are like this, there are this many, and here you can see that in North Virginia it has the highest number of availability zones, that are 6. Then the next one, the next highest number is for US West, and here Asia Pacific, Tokyo and Seoul. Other regions usually have 3 availability zones, but there is a region that is mainland China, Beijing, which has 2 availability zones, and there is a region in Osaka which has only 1 availability zone. But there are some exceptions in some of the regions. As I told you earlier, here we need to say we have some availability zones and regions, but they are not publicly accessible. For example, 2 of them are this, that is mainland China. There are 2 here government cloud, that is US West and US East. US West North California is partially available. There is 1 availability zone that is not available for public. Then here in Tokyo there are 4 availability zones, but only 3 are available for new customers. Older customers can get access to the 4th one, or the people who want the 4th one to be accessed, they need to specially contact Amazon for this, and they need to be a local customer in that case. So these are some exceptions for the availability zones, and this is about regions and availability zones. Now the question comes up, how we denote a region and availability zone. So let us just see that now. So let's just move to AWS console, and here you can see that on the top right corner I'm seeing Mumbai as the region listed. So these are the listed regions here. You can see that there are a lot of regions. You can work on any of these regions. You can work on multiple regions as well. It is not mandatory that you should be working on a specific region only. Now the question comes up, what is the naming scheme of a region? You can see that here US East 1, US East 2, US West 1, US West 2, then AF South 1 and so on. So these are the region codes here. Now how does the availability zone is represented then? So here say US East -1. This is the region name. So now if we want to specify the availability zone, these are specified like A to Z. So here A to Z, right? This means that this one has the availability zone A, then say B and C and D and E and F. So there are say 6 availability zones in one of the regions. So these are denoted like this. So if we have 3, then ABC. If we have 4, then ABCD. If we have 5, then ABCDE. And if we have 6, then ABCDEF. So every region is denoted like this. You can see what are the things that you can keep in these things, say in this now. So you can keep all the EC2 instances in a region. You can keep all the S3. You can keep your, say, EBS storage. This means that we need to keep the things here inside. Then what are the services that are global? Let's just learn about that. So there is only one service that is completely global, that is IAM. Next service is S3. S3 is partially global. You can see the console window in global section, but the buckets are created inside a region. So these are the things that you need to keep in mind. So you can plan your services and say instances accordingly so that they would be accessible nearest to your customers, not nearest to you, but your customers, because customers are the people that who would be using all these things. You are just monitoring those services. But if you have a higher latency, if you have a higher load times, then customers will not prefer using your application. So it's better that you plan accordingly and you keep the services in a region where your customers are majorly located, right? So this was for this video. In case if you have any queries, you can feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Thank you.